up, everybody? This is Brian.
And I'm Logan. And of course, this is Tops. He's really enthusiastic today. And we're Crush Cards. Hi, team. Happy Friday. So being that there's not really much of a format right now, and a lot of people are playing online, we've decided that we're going to focus our deck profiles on more rogue decks, more casual decks, and just more fun, cheesy-filled decks. Because we're rogue players to begin with. We've never really been meta players while we are competitive, but we just wanted to focus on some more, like, I don't know, some more fun stuff to play. And we have a lot of fun with this deck.
Yeah, and that being said, like, this, even though it is a rogue deck, like, this deck sees a lot of meta play, so to speak.
Yeah,
so,
this
like,
deck has gotten top cuts. This deck has been in top 32s.
I think this deck won the first YCS that we went to, which was YCS Niagara.
It did.
It did.
Wow,
yeah,
it did.
I actually didn't even
and our
consider
friend
it.
Cam got top 32, Gren Maju.
Yep,
Hi,
shout
Cam,
out
if you're
Cam.
watching, love you. Mwah.
So once again, this is just an insane going second deck. It has main deck outs to monster removal, spell trap removal, back row removal, everything. This deck is just so strong. Goes second. Its main goal is to just break boards, draw as many cards as possible, banish as many cards as possible, and then just OTK your opponent. So like, this deck is super duper fun. Once again, it's not really a meta deck, but it is definitely an insane rogue contender.
It's a rad rogue deck, which is what we're gonna call this, rad rogue.
So before we get into the list, we just want to ask you guys, take 30 seconds, go down and hit the subscribe button, and while you're down there, check out all of our other social media links.
Like our Instagram, which is @CrushCardsYGO. We're always on there. I post a lot of stories and what we're gonna be posting and message a lot of people every day. And we also have links to our Patreon, which we just started a couple weeks ago. It's got some ridiculously amazing rewards. If you feel like supporting the channel, it will help us do a lot more stuff and have a slightly better budget with our filming setup, so we're not using a cymbal stand. And then we also have a link to our Discord, which we just started. We got a lot of requests for this one. It has been thriving, and I am on there pretty much all day, every day, and it is so much fun. So please check out the Discord. And then we also have the link to our merch, like our cute little field centers of my sweet son, along with our stickers. I have just designed new stickers and field centers, so those are going to be coming out, and they're different from this. If you are a patron, you have seen the field centers already, so that's pretty rad, folks. Pretty neat. And then if you somehow haven't seen the last video that we posted, please go check it out. It's our brand new series called Draw Phase. It's kind of like Pictionary, but with Yu-Gi-Oh cards and pack pulling, and it's absolutely hilarious. And we are so excited to do different challenges with this series because we love being competitive, and honestly, it's just different content here in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. So please check it out and let us know what you think of it.
Speaking of competitive, let's get right into the deck list. So starting off, of course, we play triple Gren Maju Daiza, or Daiza, however you guys want to pronounce it.
Triple Gren Maju Daiza. What? It's Gren Maju Daiza.
Huge shout out to Konami for finally printing this guy as a super rare. This card is super duper old, but in this deck, it is not even the win condition. It is a Gren Maju deck, but this deck is literally just a going second OTK deck. This just allows you to do it. But what Gren Maju says is this card gains attack and defense equal to each number of cards that you have banished times 400. So if you resolve one pot of desires, this is a 4,000 beat stick. You resolve one Gizmek, it's a 3,200 beat stick. Like, this card is absolutely broken. So we play double Eater of Millions. This card is really, really good in the deck because some decks end on some cards that you can't out. Even though this deck does play a lot of outs to a ton of different cards in the metagame right now, some cards can't be destroyed, some cards can't be targeted, and Eater of Millions just deals with those cards no problems. This card cannot be normal summoned, it must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 5 or more cards from your field, hand, or extra deck face down. Also has like a mini built-in Gren Maju effect because he gains 100 attack and defense for each face-down banished card. It also can't be tributed or used for material for fusion, synchro, or Xyz summoning. Doesn't really come up often, but not being able to be sphere moded with this card is really cool. And then once per turn, during the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you just banish that monster face down. So once again, just gets around all targeting protection, gets around all destruction protection, and it just banishes any problematic monster face down. Next, we play our going second package. It's a really small going second package.
That's a really weak pack.
Yeah, it's real weak. But we do play the one Pankratops. I'm literally on the fence about this card every time I open it. It's either really good to open or it's just a dead card going mid to late game. So I chose to include it because once you open it, the card is just insane. Same thing with Cyber Dragon. This card just allows you to clear any card on your opponent's field that's in the extra monster zone and still provides you with an additional body and a free summon. So Cyber Dragon is just really good. The reason I chose to play the one Pank and the two Cyber Dragon is because even though you play 45 cards, you don't want to open up double Cyber Dragon because then you definitely do have a dead card in your hand. And then onto our level 8 package, we start off with the best card in the entire deck, Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher.
The hash slinging slasher. That's all I think about when I see this card. I can never unsee it, so I'm sorry you all have to unsee it. Never. You're welcome.
The reason this card is probably one of the best cards, if not the best card in the deck, is because in your hand or graveyard, quick effect, you can banish 8 cards from the top of your deck face down and special summon this card. So what's really good with this is you can activate this in your opponent's end phase and just get a body on board before your turn even begins. Or what I like to do, if I open Gren Maju and this, I literally like to do this in my opponent's main phase, have them clear it and either bounce it back to my hand or send it to the graveyard, and then on my turn, literally just do it all over again and have 16 cards banished, and then you just literally just Gren Maju them for game. Like, this card is so strong in the deck. It also has a destruction effect where you could banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down and then target 1 face-up monster on the field and destroy it. So this card is it just does everything you need this card to do.
I also didn't realize until now that he has a itty bitty little head. It's very tiny. I don't know why, but I always. Oh no, he's got 2 heads. Oh no, he's got 3 heads.
He got
oh
3
my
heads.
God, he's got 3 heads. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You never really look at a card.
I always thought he was a dragon too, but he's got 4 legs. Super weird.
Oh, that's so creepy. Imagine that crawling at you in the middle of the night. 3 heads, 4 legs, a whole bunch of slashers.
And if you guys haven't been able to tell by the Tsuchinoko mat, we play a gigantic danger package. So for the level 8s, we play triple Bigfoot, triple Thunderbird, and double Ogo Pogo. This is our level 8 package with the 3 Gizmek. You just have so many level 8 options, and you have so many rank 8 options also. So just in case you guys didn't know what these cards do, real quick, you can reveal them in your hand, and then if they are special summoned, you draw a card, or if your opponent does randomly select one, you discard it to the graveyard. Bigfoot pops a face-up card on the field, Thunderbird pops a face-down card on the field, and then Ogo Pogo Foolish Burials any danger from your deck to your graveyard.
This is just my take on the dangers, but I think it would have been cuter than instead of calling them dangers, they could have called them cutie cryptids.
Did you know, once again, like on card art, did you know that there's a dude down here that he's chasing?
Oh my God.
I never knew that until right now.
Jesus, Bigfoot's huge. Oh my God. Well, that makes a lot more sense now. Oh my God, that's terrible. Again, imagine these things coming at you in the night. That's really terrible. Oh, and the Pogo's huge too.
Yeah, there's a person. Oh, there are people down here.
Oh, are these people? Are the people down here?
Oh yeah, these are all people down here.
Wow.
So all these cards come secret rare, and if you guys haven't noticed, I tried to make the entire deck ultra rare. I just think the entire deck looks really good ultra rare. So in these ultra rare arts, you can see all the details. So
welcome to being observant, the deck.
We play probably one of the worst dangers, but we do choose to play the 1 Dogman. You literally don't really need this card, but once again, you banish half of, if not almost your entire deck by your 2nd to 3rd turn. So having more cards in your deck is really beneficial, and if your opponent does happen to snipe this card, you literally just reduce all your opponent's attack position monsters by 1,000 anyway, so you can just deal more damage, and if it does summon, you draw a card. Like, this card is not bad in this specific deck.
Look at Homeboy's behind a rock, and he's scared out of his mind because Dogman's gonna rip his face off. Also, Dogman has like pierced ears, and I'm like kind of here for it.
He's got like armbands too.
We love him.
Other level 7, we do play the 1 Danger Nessie.
Newsy.
There's a guy in a boat!
On a boat!
Wow, we're literally just looking at all these cards in ultra rare now. Noticing all this stuff. Anyways, we play the triple Danger Mothman because it helps you draw and discard. We play triple Chupacabra because we have so many dangers. You can literally, this card's just Monster Reborn for any danger. We play the 1 Tsuchinoko because it's unfortunately at 1, and we also play the new ban list edition 1 Danger Jackalope. This poor guy is probably the best danger in the entire deck.
You can limit the card, but you can't limit my love.
Amen. We play 18 dangers in this deck. If you think about it, and the analogy that everyone makes is you play 18 upstart goblins in your deck. So once again, you are speeding through your deck super fast.
Okay, look at Choop Choop. He's got his tongue on this guy's arm.
Ooh.
And that's his helmet, his arm. He's like, oh my God.
Oh God, ew. And that is it for our monster count. Going into our spells, of course, we play triple Pot of Desires. Everyone knows what this card does. Banish 10 cards off the top of your deck face down, and then draw 2 cards. If you get ashed, it doesn't matter in this deck because you want
the cost.
Drawing 2 is just a bonus. More draw spells. We play 3 copies of Trade-In. I know this isn't a Blue Eyes deck, but you could literally discard 1 level 8 monster and draw 2 cards, and it's amazing because this card says discard. So if you open this into your Thunderbird, your Gizmek, your Bigfoot, you get to have all of their discard effects in the graveyard. I mean, Gizmek doesn't really have a discard effect,
but you're getting him in grave.
Yeah, you're getting him in grave. And then Bigfoot can pop a face up, and Thunderbird can pop a face down, and you get to draw 2 still. So like, this card is insane. And then this is my tech choice for the deck. I don't think I've ever seen anybody play this card, but we are opting to play the double Pinpoint Landing. with the 18 dangers and then the 3 Gizmek Orochi, half of your deck literally special summons itself from the hand. So what this card says is if exactly one monster is special summoned from your hand to your field, you draw 1 card. You can only use this effect of pinpoint landing once per turn, and then during the end phase, if you have not drawn a card off of this effect, you just send this card to the graveyard. So this card is really cool in the deck because once you special summon your first danger from your hand, you draw 1 card off the danger and 1 card off of this. And if you have an Eater of Millions in your hand, this card is also really good because once you've resolved this effect, you can just banish this face down and only have to get rid of 4 other cards, seeing as how you don't need this anymore. We do play the 1 card destruction. For anyone who doesn't know what this card does, each player discards their entire hand and then draws the same number of cards that they discarded. Huge terminology there because it says discard, so you can trigger all of your dangers. This card is insane.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Just because we were going second deck, we play triple super polymerization. Also, card says discard, but you just get to clear anything off your opponent's field. Once we get to the extra deck, this will make so much sense because half of our extra deck is literally just super poly targets. You don't really need your extra deck for this deck, so super poly is just a great board breaking card. And if you don't need to resolve it, you can just have your extra deck cards to banish face down for either your Gizmek or for your Eater of Millions.
Wow.
Once again, sticking with the ultra rare. It looks super clean. We do not want to lose to back row game 1, so we do main deck back row outs. We play double Cosmic Cyclone because Mystic Mine is everywhere. Once again, game 1 is not supposed to be free for them, so you do want to at least have an out in your main deck. Plus, there are just more cards for you to banish off of your Pot of Desires or your Gizmek or whatever else you need just to get more banished cards if you don't need them.
Look at that little guy. He's just zipping on along in the abyss of darkness. We love him.
And then for the final cards, we play the 1 Reborn and the 1 Mind Control. Going second, this card is just so free because it either baits in the gate or takes a card off of your opponent's field for free. And then Monster Reborn, if you open it, you could just take one of your opponent's cards out of their graveyard, or you can use it as utility to bring back anything from your graveyard that you need.
And you can also just take anything out of your own graveyard, like Bigfoot for big bodies and big blue thumbs.
And that's it for the ultra rare 45 card main deck. Let's get into the extra inside. This is a going second OTK deck, so Pentastag really helps. You literally just link away 2 cards. You could put a 8,000 Gren Maju under this and just pierce for game. Like, this card is just so fun in the deck. 3/4 of your deck are dark, so this just helps to give all of your dark monsters an additional 500 attack. Once again, you don't really use your extra deck a lot, but if you do, probably the best card in your extra deck is the BLS Link or Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos.
What a guy. I'm sorry. Let me just look at him.
As long as you can get a level 7 on board and then link all 3 of them away, this card is unable to be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So against most control decks, this is literally just an auto win button. You don't have to worry about OTKing them. You can control the tempo of the game with this card. And it also has 3 incredible built-in effects where if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can activate one of these effects, which is this card gains 1500 attack, which is a permanent 1500 gain. It can make a second attack in a row in the next battle phase, or you can just banish 1 card on the field, non-targeting removal. Like, this card, whoa, this card is so good.
Excuse you, don't hurt him like that.
And then we do play the 1 Topologic Zeraboros. This is literally just like a going first option if you need it and you have like a Gizmek to trigger it. Doesn't come up often, but once again, literally just there for utility if you need it. But this card is so strong, and this card says you cannot special summon / set monsters to any extra deck zone that this card points to, and it gains 200 attack for each banished card. So once again, just kind of goes along with the theme of this deck. And if a monster is special summoned to a zone that this link monster points to, while this card is face up on the field, you can banish all cards on the field. Back row, field spells, monsters, everything. So if you have a Gizmek engraved and are able to go into this, you can literally just activate Gizmek, special summon Gizmek to one of the arrows, and just nuke the entire field. And then on the next standby phase, he comes out and you can place him wherever you want. So typically what you would do is you would summon him in the middle zone so that both extra monster zones are locked out and your opponent can't link. So this card is really, really cool. Doesn't come up often, but it's a strong card. Cyber Dragon package, we have the 1 Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon and then the 1 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Mega Fleet literally just takes 1 Cyber Dragon and 1 monster in the extra monster zone, so you can just clear a monster out of your opponent's extra monster zone for free. And then Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon is a Cyber Dragon and 1 or more machine type monsters. A lot of decks now are still choosing to tech in machine monsters, and with the new Orca support coming out in Eternity Code, you're gonna see that deck everywhere, so we definitely want to keep this card in our extra deck. And the best part is you don't need polymerization for either of these because you can just contact fuse. For our super poly targets, boy oh boy are there a lot. We play the 1 Starving Venom, we play the 1 Predaplant Try for Overton, we play the 1 Predaplant Dragos to Pelia.
Predapant. I don't see any pants on that Preda.
You play the one Mundragon of the Swamp, and then the one Diplexer Chimera. So for any of you guys who don't know, Starving Venom is 2 darks and nukes the board whenever it's destroyed. Predaplant Trifor Overtum is 3 darks and is a solemn judgment for any special summon monster out of the extra deck. Predaplant or Predapants,
Not
Dragos
Predaplant.
Torpedo, yeah, is 1 fusion and 1 dark monster. A lot of decks are running fusions, especially in Master Rule 5 now.
Like Invoked or Invoked Shaddolls or Shaddolls or
Heroes or any of that other stuff. Mundragon of the Swamp is 2 monsters with the same attribute but different typing, and then Diplexer Chimera is just 2 Cyberse monsters. And then we play our Rank 8 package. We have number 23 Lancelot, we have Dingirsu, 38 Hope Harbinger, and then 68 Sanafon of the Sky Prison. These cards are super crooked, but whatever.
Look at Dingirsu. Hi, bud.
So this card is really, really cool because it's literally like if you are in a advantageous spot but you can't put enough damage on board, if you can overlay 2 level 8s, this is a mandatory effect where once per turn during either player's turn, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, you detach 1 material from this card and then negate the activation. So if you know that your opponent only has limited resources, this negates the first thing that they activate. And it can attack your opponent directly for 2,000 damage, and when it does battle damage, you get to target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and just destroy it. So this card is such gas. Dingirsu, everyone knows, it just sends and provides you battle protection. Hope Harbinger allows you to redirect attacks and negates a spell. And then Sanafon doesn't allow either player to special summon from the graveyard until the end of your opponent's turn. Also, a really cool effect is that it gains 100 attack for each monster in each graveyard. So this card can get really, really big. Off to the side deck. This is a really interesting side deck, I feel like, because this deck wants to go second. So if we are ever forced to go first, especially against back row decks, you do not need your normal summon. As I said, Gren Maju is not the win condition of this deck, so you can just normal summon a Denko Sekka and turn off your opponent's entire back row. Play a deck that sets a lot of cards, or a trap heavy deck. Denko Sekka, once again, just an auto win button, especially going first. If you open this card, you don't even have to worry.
Feels bad.
Feels real bad.
Feels really bad.
Oh, you play frogs, don't you?
Oh, wow.
Same concept, but when we're forced to go first against a combo deck, we just side in Vanity's Fiend. This card literally says that neither player can special summon monsters, and it cannot be special summoned. So you hope to open this into danger, reveal the danger, your opponent lets you summon the danger, and then you just tribute over to this. You could just pass. Like against most combo decks, they can't out this. So this card is absolutely insane.
I just noticed that Vanity's Fiend has like a hairy arm.
Yeah, he's a fiend.
Okay, a lot of fiends don't have hairy. I don't think those are correlated, but okay, cool.
We do side deck 3 copies of Called by the Grave. This card is not really my favorite card. However, in a deck like this, it doesn't really have any graveyard protection. A lot of decks still function in the graveyard, so it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So we do side deck this. Once again, this deck really does out a lot of things in the main deck, but we want to have mana calls for everything. So we do side deck triple copies of Called by the Grave just to deal with our opponent's graveyard. We do play triple copies of Twin Twister because we do not want to lose the back row. Realistically, this card should probably be Lightning Storm. We only have 2 Lightning Storm, but Twin does say discard. You play 18 danger, so like you can still plus off of this and pop 2 back row. And because we are not playing the Lightning Storms, we are playing triple copies of, whoa, that's upside down, Dark Hole, because it essentially does the same thing going second. This pops back row, this just blows up the entire board monster-wise. And it's for the memes, like Dark Hole's back at 3. Why not just cheesy win against your opponent?
I love cheese. That's all.
So we are gonna shuffle this real quick. And then the cool part about this deck is that it wants to go second. I would argue that like probably half the decks in the metagame want to go first, set up unbreakable boards. Whoa, unbreakable boards. And yeah, so whether you win or lose the die roll, you still kind of get what you want. So we will ask our opponent to cut.
Hi, here I am, set 5 pass. Beat that, bro.
And then we will draw 5 and then 6 because we want to go second. Choop. Trade in. Gizmek. Another Choop. And then a Mothman. So we have 2 options here. Yeah, we're going second. So we could save the trade-in for the Gizmek, or we could Gizmek on our opponent's end phase, but because we have the trade-in, we will save it, and then pinpoint landing. That's nice. So on our turn, we are going to activate our trade-in, discarding our Gizmek for cost, and then draw 2 additional cards. Wow, that's super strong. We are going to activate our pinpoint landing in scale, and then we are going to activate our card destruction, discarding 4 cards and then drawing 4. So this is our draw. So that on resolution, what we are going to do is we are going to do Chupacabra as chain link 1, Bigfoot is chain link 2, and then Mothman is chain link 3. So each player will draw 1, discard 1. So we will draw a Nessie, and then you know what? Stink it. We're just gonna discard that Nessie. Bigfoot will then pop a card, and then Chupacabra will resolve, special summoning our Danger Bigfoot, and then Nessie will resolve to search, and then we will special summon our Eater of Millions from our hand by banishing. So we don't need our Cyber Dragons because we didn't open them, so we can just banish 2. We'll go 3, 4, and 5 face down. Pinpoint will draw us 1 card. Drew a Cosmic. We can then activate our Bigfoot in hand. So 5, so they hit the Cosmic. So Bigfoot will summon. We'll draw 1 card. We can now activate the Thunderbird in hand. 1, they hit the other Pinpoint. We'll special the Thunderbird, and then we can also draw another card. There it is, beautiful. We'll reveal our Jackalope, so we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, so they hit the Super Poly, totally fine. We will special the Jack, draw a card. Do you guys see how much this deck draws? Like, this is absolutely insane. Trade in is not a hard once per turn, so we are now going to trade in, getting 2 additional cards. And there it is, folks. We have officially seen our Gren Maju. So we already have a Bigfoot on field, and we have our Thunderbird. We're going to overlay 2 into a Dingirsu, and then we can literally just send anything on our opponent's field. We'll summon him here. And then we will activate our Gizmek in our graveyard, banishing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards face down, and then Gizmek will come out. Now right here, it's kind of situational. If your opponent has a card that you can't deal with, you can keep the Eater of Millions, but what I would typically do here is I would link away the Jackalope and the Eater of Millions. Right now we have 3 cards on field that are dark. We wish to get additional damage on board. We haven't even normal summoned yet, so we will normal summon the Gren Maju, and this is the last card we have in our hand, so we will reveal it and discard it. Everything on our opponent's field is now down 1,000. Gren Maju, because we have banished 8 cards, is at 3,200. Bigfoot is 35. Dingirsu is 31, and Gizmek is at 2,950. And that, my friends, is more than enough for game. Once again, this is turn 1, and this is your deck. Out of 45 cards, you have about, I don't know,
and that's
14.
Without desires.
Yeah, that's
like,
without
you didn't
desires.
even see a desire.
Oh yeah, what did we banish? We banished Super Poly, 3rd Gizmek, Moth, but yeah, okay.
Wow.
There's still 3
There's
desires
still
in the
3
deck.
desires in there. Holy moly.
That's insane. So once again, like, this isn't really a meta deck, but it's a really, really fun, like, rogue option. Going second,
Yeah.
a lot of people, like, as you saw, like, this deck plays through so much. It has so much draw power. Pops monsters, pops face up, pops face downs. Like, this deck is just so fun.
Yeah, and that wasn't even an ideal hand. So just the fact that it can still draw that much, and that's crazy.
This deck is so sweet.
It's a fun deck to play. Like, of course, it's not the most competitive thing, but it's a lot of fun. It's a cheese deck.
So let us know in the comment section down below what you think of this deck, and if you play Gren Maju, how do you play your Gren Maju?
Yeah, what's your build looking like?
And while you're down there, once again, feel free to hit the subscribe button. It really supports the channel and helps us out a lot. Make sure you guys check us out on Instagram at CrushCardsYGO. We have a Discord. We'd love for you guys to go join that, hang out with us, hang out with the rest of the Crush Cards family. And if you really want to help us out and support us, we do have a Patreon with some of the best Patreon benefits in the world.
But we hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun. This deck is a lot of fun to play, and even though we don't have locals and stuff right now, you can still build this deck online. You can play it online. You can throw the cards together and play at home with yourself or your imaginary friends or whoever you want to play with.
Or your significant other.
Oh yeah, or your significant other.
Totally forgot about me. That's okay.
Sorry.
I'm right here.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We absolutely love you. Please don't forget that you matter. You're great. You're wonderful. We hope you have a really stellar weekend, folks.
And if you guys liked this deck, in the next week or 2, we will have Necroface Banish deck, which is also a Gren Maju deck. So keep an eye out for that. But we love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Bye. Mwah.